got crap tons of armor already. But now DK got increased. It's almost doubled, I think, for his
No, it's
increase
over
in
double.
armor. It's over doubled?
Over double the HP regen. It went from 5 at level 4 to 12. Honestly, the HP regen was a little bit ass as you leveled it up. It wasn't really that good. But the thing is about Dragonite was that you weren't going to level Dragon Tail anyway most of the time.
Yep.
It's pretty garbage scaling. So
yep.
This is the secondary ability that Dragonite would level up anyway. So that makes it more of a buff, right? Most buffs you're going to see the Ice Frog try and make a skill that is underutilized, like the third skill that you level up, buff up a little bit in order to make it a little bit more viable.
Or you give them like an Ags upgrade when they don't really need one, but it might make people use it or something.
Yeah, something like that. But if you're still going to go for the same skill build, it doesn't matter all that much. But here, Dragon Blood is definitely one of the high priority abilities that Dragonite's going to go for. So
okay, so the Yas hero was put on the Yas end of the world. He's going to the offlane now. So the Weaver's going to be playing offlane. Yep. They'll throw the Invoker into the mid as a Matumberman Luna. With Kuro as well as G-Rex wrapping up with the Tuskar as well as the Shaman.
This is really greedy by them.
Yeah.
Like, very greedy, especially given that the Visage is already picked up by Alliance and they had the Gyrocopter.
It's also really greedy because this is the first game where we haven't seen an aggressive TP out from both sides. Like, it's come from Alliance every single time. They look for aggressive warding, or they look to block the aggressive warding. This time around, Team Liquid, they smoke up, and they're going to aggressively move into the Radiant jungle. Now, the question is, they do have the Observer ward over on G-Rex. So they plant down the first one, they can see what they're walking into. And Alliance are not giving the greatest position for this. This wraparound from Liquid could really, really hurt them. The Jar is the only one with a vision, and now he's gone down the hill. So Team Liquid now own the hillside.
They could still survive, though.
The shards will fly down. No! That one little... and that.
Should have had the Penguin, Jarex. It would have made the difference. Pay to win.
Yes. The wonderful slip and slide.
Anyway, so I think part of the reason that there wasn't a priority in throwing down wards, obviously Liquid wanted to do that 5-man smoke and try and get a pick off with Snowball. But the part of the reason is also I think the lanes are, in a way, pretty obvious. It's going to be kind of a dual lane scenario. Jarex may go top. He's probably going to be roaming around quite a bit. And there's also going to be a dual lane kind of in mid, I think. I thought Alliance were going to be babysitting the Dragonite a bit against the Invoker with, like, the Oracle or the Visage or something, but apparently that's not the case. Full defensive tri-lane from them.
Wow. Protect Loader at all costs. EGM and RK, maybe they can find a pick-off, mind control. So they commit the Sentry Ward as well, and EGM just starts up. So Weaver, stay where you are. RK will come over, but there's not a lot he's going to do apart from... Like, unless Mind Control is over-aggressive with Shikuchi, they're not really going to find a lot. And Admiral Bulldog's having the same kind of stuff done there. In fact, Kuro's got him so low. With one more attack, he could have Ether Shocked down Admiral Bulldog and found the kill.
Or even just getting off the Ether attack when Sprint was popped might have actually killed Admiral Bulldog because he takes that extra damage. Remember, Ether Shock is 140 damage. Then combine the fact that Admiral Bulldog's going to take 15% extra damage there.
I'm not quite sure that Bulldog really wants to stick around for this.
Oh, he certainly doesn't.
Like, he's burned through his salve, and now he's already back down to a point where he's got nothing left. Kuro is waiting for him to come back, but Bulldog's got the Observer Ward that's just sitting on top of the staircase. I don't want to call it a ramp anymore because it looks more like a staircase.
See how powerful Fortune's End is? Like, anytime the Weaver is perhaps in a, like, a unideal position, like, he's going to get that 2.5 second snare where Loda can actually either run him down with Rocket Barrage or maybe in this case just get a bunch of flat cannon shots on him and harass the Weaver a bit.
Are there many ways to actually dodge that?
No, there really isn't.
Because it still hits invis units, right?
Yeah, it still hits invis units. It might be destroyable in some way though.
This would be useful if like Manta could dodge it. Then it wouldn't be as powerful. Okay, Luna, Admiral Bulldog. He's living life on an edge right now.
I don't know what Admiral Bulldog does in this lane, to be honest.
What's he meant to? Like, there's no Dazzle to babysit him.
Yeah, the thing is that Luna is one of the more dangerous safe lane carries to go up against as an offlaner because she's got such a long range and powerful nuke. And then Shadow Shaman is one of the most dangerous supports.
We get to miss first blood. I was watching for the Weaver initiation through the tree line with the Soul Assumption damage by control. They do manage to reach him. So I missed first blood for a reason, but it's going to be the DK that goes down the middle lane to the Alacrity Sunstriking Invoker.
Yeah, they caught him on the end with the Sunstrike when he was trying to run away. It's the power of Tusk, though. Especially against melee heroes, because they're farther forward than ranged heroes. They're just caught up by the ice shards easier. Life is not good for them.
Bulldog's coming back down the bottom lane. He's got no other choice, though. He's got to stay there.
This is a lane that Dragon Knight should lose, though. With a roaming hero, but even just Invoker by itself, you're going to lose this lane. You're just trying to get some baseline amount of farm, and he's actually doing very well for himself. He's actually ahead in CS over Fada, who's really been prioritizing harassment for kills, but Ice Shard's barely missed.
If that shard's from Jirax connected, then S4 was dead. Surprisingly, Mind Control has left the top lane, so he's had enough of dealing with Oracle. He's not stacking up the camps, he's just dragging it back, but this is a level 1 Weaver. You're going to try and jungle a level 1 Weaver. You might get a contest for bottom rune. Admiral Bulldog's coming down with the help of S4. So, Mind Control runs in, the Sunstrike on its way. S4 gets hit pretty hard by it. Admiral Bulldog gets a crush, but then shackled up. S4 dies to the shards, and Admiral Bulldog as well. It's all going so horribly for Alliance. Admiral Bulldog will die, and Weaver, hello, welcome to level 2. Both Slaughter and the DK going down. There's 2 deaths for your mid-solo and 1 for your offlaner.
Well, apparently the jungling Weaver works, just not in the way you maybe thought it was going to.
It's the roam Weaver.
Yeah, I mean, both offlaners were suffering terribly, so in a way, it was kind of even. And they both end up kind of roaming in a situation, but once again, the Invoker he proves to make the difference every single time in these engagements. The Sunstrike is always on point, and that added nuke damage frees up so many opportunities for kills.
What a good position as well for Team Liquid to have wards down. They can always see what Admiral Bulldog's up to. If he walks to the side, they understand he's either stacking or he's going for rune control. And if he doesn't, then he's inside the lane. You understand what support's behind him. S4 is pretty much toast here. He's bottling up, and Fana actually doesn't have Sunstrike available, and Admiral Bulldog, a big double crush, and Mind Control, he is going to Shikuchi himself away.
Stop the missile!
They have to get rid of this missile. It'll kill him, but the tower's going to get rid of it with the help of Fada.
Good call, good call. Boy, that was close, though. Shikuchi level 1 is such a long cooldown.
Admiral Bulldog, he got himself in position for a fantastic crush.
Yeah, that was great.
And now it's Fada who's initiating into S4. But EGM tries to lock him down. Jirax throws out the shards as well. Admiral Bulldog, they just need to help stun him up, and that's what the Snowball's able to do. And Jirax, well, dead. No way to survive that one. DK will find the kill, and Fada gonna Alacrity up, and yep. That's a solid kill for Invoker.
At bottom lane, they're gonna be able to get Ake as well. Jesus, Liquid are finding kills all over the place.
Guru's just been so aggressive with this Shaman, and most of the time you think, oh, Shaman, like, he's crap, because his movement speed is just so poor. And now with the nerf to the boots as well, you think it's even less than that. But because of the Observer Ward behind, they understood that Arke was down here by himself. They were trying to get him up to level 6. If they can bring a little bit more support down here, that's what EGM is here for. They start up on Matumberman, and the Shackles keep Bulldog out. Matumberman turns on the ulti,
no.
and actually takes 2. The cooldown will still go to work, but EGM will find himself a double kill, and a crap ton of levels for doing so. But still, it's another 2 cores that go down your first major rotation of the Jaro.
Fighting into the Luna ultimate. Not many times you're going to see teams do that, but I guess in the end it might end up being worth it just because of the big boost in levels. Like, this is the thing, that Oracle is the do-shit support.
Well, they probably thought that, oh, wow, S4, the Invis runes gets triggered, so he's got bottle charges available, and Jirax getting body blocked up by S4. Couldn't lock him in the corner, however, but Arke comes in close enough for a quick Soul Assumption kill. A good kill secure for the support of Alliance. But yeah, maybe they just thought they would kill off Luna before she could get the Eclipse off.
Yeah, probably. I mean, if the
if Shaman didn't get the shackles.
Yeah, no. Also, the fact that Visage like took one more of those Eclipse nukes, or like there was a creep wave or something that took one of them. Gyrocopter probably survived through that. But can we talk about the Shadow Shaman though?
Yeah, definitely.
This build this is going to be, I think, the new build.
The Wand Arcanes?
Yeah,
you
don't even get Hex necessarily anymore. You know how absurd it is that you don't get Hex? That's because Shackles does so much damage. Look at the damage. It does 120 damage at level 1 for a 2.75 seconds stun.
Loda, he slipped in behind the trees. The cooldown's going to go Team Liquid. They're going to hindsight the snowball. They'll come back out of it. And Loda, the flat cannon damage. Varda's losing so much life so quickly. S4's able to tank through it. The one charges. They gave him life at the start. Even when the Swarm was able to connect over on Alliance. Get rid of those bloody bugs, Arcade. They are looking to attack. Mind Control's being hunted. Yeah, she doesn't get connected on. Wait, did that disappear? EGM threw out Fortune's End, but it didn't reach the Weaver.
Radiant's middle tower is under
Unless that was an animation bug that I was looking at then.
I have no idea.
Radiant's
Anyway, did Loda eat through the trees? Is that what he did?
I believe so. There's a small
there.
slither that he managed to get down through the side.
Oh my god, that's so legit. I had no idea you could do that. That's the new map for you. Because all of a sudden I'm just like, where the hell did Loda come from? He's a goddamn magician.
He cut his own little pathway to freedom.
Apparently.
Sneaky beaky like.
Underground Railroad or something. So Treads now. EGM's got so much farm. He's got Arcane Boots and an 1100 gold already.
He's got 5 kills and 2 assists for only 1 death.
You
look at the net worth, he's almost got as much as Loda does. He's got more than the Weaver does. By not even a small amount. It's like an extra 500 gold 9 minutes in.
I think he goes 4-staff again. Just for the effectiveness against Tusk. Because the Ice Shards is such a problematic spell. That's the thing. Oracle does need a bit of mobility. Or you just have to be a god at positioning.
Well, the 4 stuff will give you that. Either that or you just have the like the Yule Scepter combo that you were talking about previously. And that's one way you can get away from the Eclipse or potentially take out a hero when they try and come in. Mind Control, nice time lapse. Evades the crush of Admiral Bulldog.
And meanwhile, at the bottom lane, Loda's going to be chased down into this tier 2 tower. They do have the Sunstrike. Loda keeps on going, though. He's going to be able to lock down Jerax.
Nothing. Like the lights, the quick loose
of got his ultimate, though. S4!
S4 just evaporates. The missile's still going to connect on Jerax, but it looks like it's only a level 1 missile from Loda. But the Familiars never, ever, ever discount RK from the fights. He might be defending mid lane up against the Kuro push with Mass Serpent Wards. Remember, this is also... Like, the Familiars are really good at clearing this out. Because they're all 2 hits now. Do the Familiars take 2 hits as well? To get rid of each of the wards?
Yeah,
oh, Mind Control. He found Arke. The Swarm's on him. Arke's got nowhere to escape from this one. He'll get back behind the tower. Okay, maybe he does when EGM will arrive. They've got to get that bug off him, but EGM now comes out too far. Gets cold snapped up by Farda. Even the Shocker's going to dissuade Admiral Bulldog from coming any further.
I think they mismicroed the Familiars a little bit. That could have actually been used to stun up Mind Control when he was going on to the Oracle, but he brought him back a bit. They get one of those Familiars. The whole Serpent Wards, I'm sure it's like they do 2-shot the wards, but you also have to think about it the opposite, where the wards do like 3-shot the Familiars. So I think that's how that works. I'm not 100% though. I could be wrong. It wouldn't be the first time.
It's a new patch, man. Everyone can be wrong multiple times. But that's the reason why we work it out now. The Urn is the build from EGM. So he doesn't go for 4 stuff. He actually goes for like adding a little extra pure damage.
Okay.
But this means Alliance need to try and find more and more kills.
I mean, if you get the farm, like, Urn is great for the hero.
Are they slipping? They're going to slip in for Roshan. They've only got 1 Familiar, however, so these stuns won't survive forever. Like Admiral Bulldog and the Familiar chaining off together to buy the space. Loda's damage is minimal, but with the amplification, it makes life a little bit easier for them. But everyone's missing apart from S4. S4's pushing the bottom lane right now. So it's the old-fashioned trade-off, the top tier 1 tower of Dire side for Roshan. Bulldog! Oh, we get bashed! Loda switches the aggro to him very, very quickly. When that Sunstrike connected, all of the damage went into Admiral Bulldog.
Radiant's bottom tower.
So they take Roshan, and then it ends up being a tier 1 tower trade with an Aegis going to Alliance. And they're coming back to defend.
Top tower is under attack.
And Liquid seem very happy to keep this pressure up. Durex moves forward, and Loda's here by himself. He TP'd to the tier 3 tower. Support is now TPing in as TK the front lines, but Matumba's waiting. He's going to Eclipse the Battle. He turns it on, and S4 evaporates in the moonlight. Loda will at least be able to pick up the Tuskar, but really, the cost is so high. Loda's still got the Aegis Immortal, but he may just pop it for no reason. And in fact, no EGM will give him the life back. The familiar 1 stun is there. RK will have a resummon up in 5 seconds time, so they'll have the extra damage available shortly. But with the Mass Open Wards down, that tier 2 tower is toast. The Invoker even gets itself Necro Book, so if Alliance fight into this, we'll have Necro Books available to fight. Kuro's still got that Shock and Shackle available. And Mind Control Swarm coming off cooldown, they'll let the tower go. Alliance will hold the Aegis, but they still lost out quite big.
Yeah, soon there's just going to be too many units on the front line. And the Gyrocopter, you're going to reach this awkward period of time. Normally the Gyrocopter is good against Necronomicons and good against like any sort of like extra units that heroes are going to be spawning, like Forge Spirits. But he won't have the damage yet. So he can't clear through them with Flat Cannon. So you're going to have like Forge Spirits and Necronomicon minions. You're going to have a swarm on everybody.
Fada? Initiating him while RK is right behind him. Maybe not the greatest thing in the world. Did we know too the fact that the lens is up over on the Shaman?
Oh god.
Yeah, think about the range of everything which he's doing right now.
Yeah, Ether Shock, really long range. That's the biggest part of Shadow Shaman. It's why you oftentimes go Blink Dagger, because you like need to be able to close the gap a bit more. And obviously like Blink dropping wards is great and everything, but if you can actually make his range a bit better, everything was so small. Like Hex, Shackles, you had to get so close to an enemy, but if you can increase that cast range.
Does the circle modify?
Decent.
Like, is this the basic range of Ether Shock right now? Like when you hover over him? Or is this the modified circle when you pick up a lens? Because if it's a range that is even larger than this circle represents, holy crap, that's a long way. Can you work out the distance by eye?
I think the circle is effective. I don't know, Toby. Why you gotta ask me a question like that, man?
I'm sorry.
You're just setting me up for failure.
I set myself up for failure. I don't know the answer either.
I haven't even played Dota on this patch yet. Necronomicon 2. Alliance they gotta find an opening with this Blink Dagger on Admiral Bulldog. They gotta force a fight and not just let Liquid set up every single team fight, because there should never be that effective Luna ultimates in the early game. But every single time he's just one-shotting the DK. And now they're gonna find 1+.
Yep. They hex up over on S4, keeping him out of the engagement. RK, Jurex.
Oh my god, that range!
And now the Shackles. Kuro just does it from downtown. And Jurex, well, the Eclipse is going to end off, and RK still alive on 11 HP. He's able to survive, but Mind Control's right behind him. They get the pick off, and this could be a very, very quick game. Hey, maybe we may get back on schedule. But Team Liquid, 13-11 against Alliance, but Alliance just having no answer to what Liquid are throwing at them.
They could have even gotten the Gyrocopter there if the Tornado, he's only got 1 level of Wex, so it was the shortest Tornado known to man. But if he had just 1 or 2 levels more in it, he would have hit the Gyrocopter, and then they run him down as well. It's not looking good for Alliance. I mean, what do you know? Eclipse one-shot the DK again.
Kuro, he sees EGM because the fresh Observer Ward that just got placed, and Kuro actually in trouble. Great familiar micro coming out from RK, so Kuro will end up dying EGM or they leave him behind. But now the heal, Kuro, no! He's going to TP out! No, they have enough damage. Barely have enough damage. And Alliance chasing down after Fada, down to the Radiant jungle. The Dragon Tail stun back off cooldown, allowing S4 to get that pick. And that's 2 quick and big rebuttal kills.
Yeah, those 2 kills actually give people a glimmer of hope for Alliance in this game. Because otherwise, if Liquid actually backed out without any losses or anything, I'm almost 100% certain that Alliance would lose the game. But those 2 pickoffs were big because it's now going to allow them to take a tier 2. That's a pretty big net worth exchange that just happened. Mind Control split pushing away. That's the one big downside for Liquid's lineup is, yeah, they're looking pretty strong in teamfights and everything, but they still have a Weaver. And they still have a Weaver that is not a 1 position. You know how long it takes for that hero to be effective as the primary farmer?
Funny thing is, though, he's still on... I don't want to say he's on a good timing, but he's
Dire's
on
bottom tower
the timing
is
from
under
about 2
attack.
years ago on the Weaver. You hope around the 22-minute mark you'll finish your Lincoln Sphere. And then your 27 to 28-minute mark, you get your Desolator.
Is that the timing?
That was the timing 2.5 years ago.
Are you sure? Because I feel like it should have been pre-20-minute Lincolns. When was that hero ever viable if a 22-minute Lincolns was acceptable?
That's because he also got, like, Aquila and
Oh,
drums.
okay. Oh, maybe you're right, yeah.
Yeah. Yes. Matt, trying to have a flashback of my own. Kuro gets caught up on the top lane. So Lion's getting a little bit of breathing room with him down.
We're reflecting on our Dota 2 past and not aware of our Dota 2 present.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
2,500 gold on Dragonite. He really badly needs a BKB. I don't see any other item that you should go like. Normally, Dragonites will go like, they'll think about S and Y, maybe just a Zange. You'll see a Blink or Shadow Blade. This is just, you need a BKB.
Yeah.
I'm tired of watching him just die to Matamba Man every
I think
single
he's
time.
tired of dying to Matopperman every time. Snowball running away. Amplification's already over on Jirax. And, well, Admiral Bolt has that Blink Dagger off cooldown in 1 second time. Waiting to go on to Jirax. In fact, Jirax comes to him. And then Shard blocks him out. The Rocket's still going to connect. The Sunstrike's looking for a target. Admiral Bulldog inside the tree line is going to be fine. The cooldown from Jaro, the last Rocket gets the kill. So that's another kill which Alliance are able to claim and still keep Liquid one man down.
If anybody was wondering what Jirax was doing there, I think he knew he was dead if he just kept running because he's going to get blinked on by the Slardar. So he figures, I have to turn because that Blink Dagger is about to come off cooldown. I have to put damage on the Slardar. So if I get the Walrus Punch off on him and block him off with shards, maybe I can still get the distance required to get away from that
Dire's
Blink.
bottom tower is under attack.
He probably figures there's a very low chance of success, but it's better than nothing. He was still going to get blinked on no matter what.
Level 3 Necrobook is now completed up for Fada. And already Liquid are wondering when what's going to happen with Roshan. They won't know yet. We don't know yet, unless you manage to catch the timer which was kicking up. But they have to wait another 40 seconds until he could potentially spawn. At least it's a little bit nicer for the Dire side when you wait for Roshan now. Because you've got 2 camps to farm up as opposed to just the Ancients now. So
I was checking if anybody tweeted at me the answer about the Ether lens. Because there is an animation to Shackles, so it's possible that Kuro got that distance, but I feel like the AoE... I don't know, that was such a long Shackles when he had it on the Dragonite.
Yeah. It was
I'm just not sure if that current circle is...
It was from here to here. Like if we call that distance correctly. I believe that was the two positions.
Yeah. And if you figure there's a bit of animation, so maybe it starts here. Yeah, maybe it is accurate.
Possible.
It's kind of like Fiend's Grip in that, like, once you start it, it's still kind of going to go off even if they get out of range a bit, so...
Yeah. Well, this looks like it's going to be a Lincoln Sphere for Mind Control. No surprise there. The surprise is how quickly he's managed to get it. So it's a 21-minute Lincoln Sphere completed over on the Weaver. The BKB has arrived. S4 finally has immunity, as long as he can get it off.
Yeah, but the Lincoln's is up for the Weaver, so he doesn't have to worry about that Dragon Tail from the TK. It's one of his biggest threats.
Might have to just use something else, which is a little less
Dire's middle
like
tower
required.
is under attack.
Like Amplification can
Dire's
trigger it if he wants to,
structures are
but
fortified.
like something maybe like Rave Chill. Don't think there's any other ability you really want to waste on it. They get rid of the rockets. Loader very quickly hexed up. Admiral Bulldog jumps in. A double crush him, and the call down from Loader follows up with the flat cannon damage. They just burn through the Luna. This time it's a big DK. Mind Control will time-lapse out as much of the damage as possible. There's still a lot of bugs over on the side of Alliance. And Fada, he'll finally trigger these Necro books of his. He held on to them for the entire fight because that Luna died so quickly.
Yeah, Loda's an exceptionally fragile hero. That's why you oftentimes go BKB. But even with BKB, if you get the right kind of initiation, you can still explode her. It's interesting to me that the Luna build for this game is Helmet Dominator and into Manta rather than BKB. I'm sure he's going to go back to the BKB because there's plenty of magic damage he needs to deal with.
It's just the greed build with the helm of the Dom. We do that on the Luna.
Yeah, I think so too. I think he's just like, I'm far enough ahead. This Manta is going to allow me to farm up really efficiently. I can split push. I can take down towers faster. I'll get the BKB after the Manta.
Alliance is starting up on Roshan. They're going to get rid of the Sigil before it could even reach the pit. And Jirax, well, he's going to shut up on the opening. They're all going to get out, and they're actually all going to get bugged up. A Swarm from Mind Control hitting quite heavily into Alliance. The Sunstrike's on its way too. EGM, that's a lot of damage. The shards will fly, but they're a little bit too short. Also don't block the ramp area. So Alliance just start healing back up again. And Matumberman, he's going in. He's got the outfoot behind him, so he's got the aura bonus damage, but the Familiars popping in from RK, they're both going to drop. So the stuns are able to connect. Cooldown's available from Loader, plus his BKB, which is available. So they're going to be really careful about this. Even S4's BKB is back off cooldown. But the Mass Serpent Wards, there's enough damage that Liquid can finish up Roshan. So Alliance, they have to go for this. They cannot wait any longer. The Familiars, they're trying to be in position. Now the cooldown's going to go. They just walk themselves inside the pit. Weaver picks up the Aegis. The Radiant got it. And now the Eclipse turns off from Matumberman. They're fighting still within the Mass Serpent Wards. And the Glaives have to start bouncing Matumberman. He's doing the work from inside the trapped wards. Even killing up the Familiars. He stays alive. And Alliance, they're all dead. Inside the pit. Matumba can basically sip. Okay, he's out. He's going to TP himself out to safety. But Alliance, they came in to grab Roshan. They didn't get the Roshan. The Aegis Immortal is still on Mind Control, and they lost everything.
There was so much that Jerax did in that fight that actually set them up for success. Even the beginning, where they zoned out a lot of Alliance via Ice Shards. It took a long time for those supports to be able to come through. Jerax just kind of played this this crowd control. We were stopping the supports in the back from getting into the pit. And not really worrying about the BKB carriers. Now, after that shining moment, he goes ahead and has an epic fail, killing himself on the tier 3 tower, but still, good job, Jerax.
They're coming again. Loaded with the cooldown, Mind Control, a little bit too far out of position here, but then again, in comes the Scarab Beetles once again. Mind Control actually blows up. He loses the Aegis to the Immortal. He's still got time-lapse available, so if they can't control him long enough, no, they can. So they actually end up killing the Weaver twice over. The Linkosphere was actually down, hence he didn't have that extra protection.
Yeah, Alliance just all in for that Roshan. And if they got the Aegis, they could have actually won the fight. Just because you saw how low everyone was. Say if Gyrocopter gets it, he comes back. He's decently tanky with the Sage and Bracer he's got. He obviously outputs crap tons of damage with Rocket Barrage. But what have we got right now? It's 18 to 19, 25 minutes in, 7,500 gold lead for Team Liquid, but it wasn't that big of a lead not so long ago. That was just the Roshan fight. It was like a over 5,000 gold exchange to Liquid's favor. So this game has been pretty even up until that team fight. Alliance do need to really start worrying, though, because the Weaver, like, once the Weaver gets his secondary item, that's when he starts coming online. Like, the Lincolns or BKB choice, whichever one it is from the Weaver, it's a nice surviving item, and it's good for you in, like, split pushing and making sure you never die, but it doesn't give you the damage necessary to have a large impact in the team fight. Once you get Desolator on the Weaver, however, you will have an exceptionally large impact in the team fight.
Just got a bit of an update from WCA. So it turns out for the next games, they're going to start the first round of the next groups now. So YIGI versus Execration and CDEC versus TNC. Those games will begin now. We'll end up finishing this game. Obviously, it's a full series, so we're going to stick with it until the end. And we'll cast the next one off Dota TV, but we'll join into the game for game number 2. So we'll probably end up missing half of the first game of the game, which will be on this stream, which is CDEC versus TNC.
Sorry, guys.
Unless CDEC are absolutely amazingly crushing TNC, we may actually miss an entire game.
Yeah, not much control we have over this situation.
Because this game for me, like, it's still, it could take a very long time to finish this.
It could. I mean, Liquid, they're the ones in control. They have better late game lineup as well, so if they wanted to, they can afford to just kind of like sit back for a while. But I think they should try and push the early 5-man advantage that they have via Luna and this Necronomicon. They can take down buildings so quickly.
Well, up they come. Now 7 wards are dropped. And they focus on the buildings for now. Loda's getting a little bit chipped down by the Necro units. And these Lunar Illusions causing them problems, but Matumman, what a control coming out there from EGM. Matumman, they finally put the Lincoln Sphere over on him to keep him alive, but with the towers down, the Glaives will start bouncing. It's difficult to blink in, but Admiral Bullock already did his initiation, but Loda he just pops. Matumman just bouncing off the Glaives, doing the damage, S-Force forced back, and now they turn onto the Eclipse. Matumman runs forward, EGM just forced himself back out again. The Sunstrike is able to connect. Vada will take himself a double kill. An Alliance, they're dying inside their own base at the moment. The Shackles latch on Bulldog. The buybacks may be there, but they can't leave their fountain. It's just not a safe area to be.
I always think this, but essentially, if you don't defend before your tier 3 is down, you might as well give up the lane of racks when you're facing up against Luna. You're going to get another pick off. S4, nice down to the Kuro, but now he sacrifices his life. And they're just farming. Yeah, Alliance are just being farmed inside of their fountain now.
This is GG.
Yeah.
And there it is. The call will be made by Alliance. Looks like we will be able to catch out game number 1. Right. 26-20. The game will go the way of Team Liquid, the full series, and that means Team Liquid ensure themselves the #1 position in the group. Alliance and DC are the other ones battling it out. So if DC are able to take the 2-0 over MVP, then we'll have ourselves a draw for second position. If they're incapable of doing such a thing, then we'll